please label your notes. Label your notes as completing, call it completing the square. Completing the square. So we need to talk first of all about what in the world does it mean to have a square. Well, and I'm not talking about the shape, the square, its four equal sides. I'm kind of talking about that, but we're not talking about shapes right now. We're talking about polynomials. But we're going to take baby steps to get there. 25. 25 is a perfect square.
Your handwriting is phenomenal.
Like yours is any better.
It's heavy. It's hard to write with. I mean, I know I have horrible handwriting anyway, but put this in my hand and it's even worse. Sorry. 25 is a perfect square. Why do we call 25 a perfect square?
It's like 5, 5, 5.
Yes, because 5 times 5 is 25. In other words, if I square 5, I get 25, right? So 25 is a perfect square because 5 squared, I'm going to circle the squared, is equal to 25. 25 is a perfect square. What about 49? Is 49 a perfect square?
Yes.
Why?
Because 7 times 7 equals.
Because 7 squared is 49. What about 36? Is 36 a perfect square?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you feeling
All right, and then we try to trick you. 225. Is that a perfect square?
Yes.
Yes, because it is 15 squared. Okay, you got the point? But of course, you guys know that I'm not going to make it that easy on you. We're going to have to start talking. We're talking about polynomials in this unit, so we have to change this up a little bit. What I would like you to do is write down x squared plus, let's do x squared plus 6x. X squared plus 6x. And what I would like you to do is at the end of it, add c. X squared plus 6x plus c. And what I want you to do is I want you to make this polynomial a perfect square. Right now it's not complete. It's not a perfect square. We're going to make it a perfect square. And to make it a perfect square, these are the rules that you have to follow. What I want you to do is circle this number, circle the 6, and I want you to put a little note next to it saying that you have to divide it by 2, and then you have to square it. Divide by 2 and then square it. So if you take 6 and you divide it by 2, what are you going to get? 3. You square that, you get
No.
9. Are you with me? So when you get 9, you've just made this polynomial a perfect square. So x squared plus 6x plus 9 makes that a perfect square. Now, right now, it does not look like a perfect square. I told you guys up here that a perfect square is a number with a little 2 next to it. And right now, the 2 is only next to the x. I want this entire polynomial to be written as something squared. Yes?
So after you do all that, that's supposed to go in for C?
Yes, that number right here, that is your C value. That 9 we got replaces the C. But now what I need you guys to do is write this like a perfect square. So just follow my steps for right now, and I'll explain to you what I'm doing here in a minute. Set a parentheses there. Put a little 2 outside of it. And what just happened, what we're going to do is take this x squared plus 6x plus 9, and we're going to write it as a quantity square. We're going to make this a perfect square. So put an x here. What was half of 6? When you took half of 6, what'd you get?
3.
You got 3. So you put a 3 here. And then this plus sign right here goes right in the middle. In other words, it was an x squared plus 6x 3 squared. Now, you don't need to write this part down, but I want to explain to you what just happened.
Whoa.
X plus 3 squared really means, you guys should know this because we've done this quite a bit, x plus 3 times x plus 3. Help me multiply these two things. You should be expert at this by now. X times x is
X squared.
x times 3 is
6.
3x. 3 times x is
3x.
3x, and then 3 times 3 is
9.
9. So, clean this up. You get x squared plus
6x.
these two together give me 6x plus 9.
Whoa.
Doesn't that look familiar? X squared plus 6x plus 9 is exactly what we started with. So my point of showing you this is to show you that you are just taking this polynomial and you are writing it as a perfect square. Now, there is a reason you need to do this. We're not there yet, but for now, I need you just to understand the process. Are you okay with that? X plus 3 quantity squared really means this. All right? We need to practice more. So, I need a new page. Oh, here we go. Okay.
So she was like,
I don't know if that's what I wanted to do or not, but that's all right. So let's do this. X squared, write this down. X squared plus 14x plus c. I want you to make this incomplete polynomial, trinomial, a perfect square. So remember the little rules. You take half of the number in the middle. What is half of 14? 7. Square it.
49.
You get 49. So to make this a perfect square, it's going to be x squared plus 14x plus 49. You with me? All right, so now this is a perfect square trinomial, but we're going to write it as a perfect square. Write x squared plus 14x plus 49 as a perfect square. We put an x first in the parentheses. See the plus sign? You bring it down with you. You take half of 14,
7.
you get 7. X plus 7 squared will get me x squared plus 14x plus 49. You have taken this polynomial and you have written it as a perfect square. These things have exactly the same value. You with me?
Wait, so you just take the square root of 49?
You could, yes, you could take the square root of 49, or you can take half of 14. Okay? Alright. Try another one. Let's do x squared plus, let's do 12x plus c. X squared plus 12x plus c. So I write down x squared plus 12x. What is half of 12? 6. Square it, you get 36. So you add 36. Those three terms have made a complete square for you. So, what goes first? An x. Bring your plus sign down. Half of 12 is 6. X plus 6 squared. Right? Yes?
What if like instead of 12x it was an odd number?
You're so smart. We're going to talk about that in 2 minutes. Hold on. Oh, good, I'm glad you noticed that because you're going to get, when you take half of an odd number, you're going to get a decimal, and you don't do anything different, any differently, you just have to deal with decimals. So, all right, here we go. X squared, let's do minus 10x plus c. Why am I having you guys do this example? What's different about this?
It's a minus, oh my god.
The minus. Oh my gosh, I know. Alright, so we take half of negative 10. Half of negative 10 is negative 5.
5.
Square it, you get.
Negative 25.
When you get 5,
Okay, you get a. Okay, now that's we need to make. We have to make a note. It's a positive
Positive 25.
25 because no, and you know what? Everyone do this. Everyone do this on their calculator. Take negative 10. Take negative 10. Divide it by 2. Negative 10 divided by 2. And it says negative 5 over on the right-hand side, right? Now don't do anything else, just press the squared button. And the squared button is over on the left-hand side of your keypad. Just press squared. And it will show up on your calculator as ANS squared. So it's taking your last answer and squaring it. What does it say? 25. It says 25. So let's write that down. I'm going to have you guys write another note here. X squared minus 10x plus 25. Circle this last number, please, and I want you to put a big old note next to it saying that that number is always
Positive.
positive. It is always going to be a positive number. Always, always, always positive. All right, but now what we need to do is write it as a perfect square. So you put an x here. You take half of negative, no, remember the minus sign here? We got to bring it down with us, so it's a minus. 5. Half of 10 is 5, so we have x minus 5 squared. All right, yes?
My calculator is going. I don't want to be playing for it.
Oh, you know what? Just you're fine with that one for right now. You okay? Just hang it in there? Okay. All right, let's try x squared minus 7x plus c. And I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One of the reasons I'm talking about this one is because we have a negative number in front of x, and we also have an odd number. I need the conversations between the two of you to end right now, okay? Half of negative 7. What is half of negative 7? Take negative 7 divided by 2. You get negative 3.5. Square it. Okay. So you have x squared minus 7x plus what? 12.25. Notice positive 12.25. Always, always, always positive. So now to write this thing as a perfect square, it is going to be x, what? Minus 3.5. X minus 3.5 squared. Alright, now, and like I said before, this doesn't mean anything to you yet. This does not mean anything to you yet, but it will very soon, okay? Yes?
So even if it, like, say it was like a big number, like after the decimal, we would just round it to the nearest 100.
No, you know what? Well, this is to the nearest, oh, you said hundreds?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would say in this case, really you should write out all the decimals. Yeah. But you know what? These are not going to be terrible because you're either going to have an even number or an odd number here. And if you have an odd number, it's always going to be something 0.5. And when you square something 0.5, the decimal value is not horrible.
Okay.
Okay, so just write down what you get. All right?